All right, set up 4 minutes, please. And after you state your name and address, the 4 minutes will start.
Okay, I needed 6 minutes. I have my card and then 2 other cards, correct?
Is Misty Franklin here? They have to be here to give you your 2 minutes.
Oh.
So 4 minutes. All right, what's your name? Okay. All right, is Stephen Hurd here? Okay. All right. Are you also giving your time to her? Okay, so you have 8 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. My name is Rachel Knox. I live at 2931 Millers Pond Drive, 38119. And I'd like to pick up where I left off last time. I truly am just a concerned citizen. The decision that you all made in regards to the benefits and the pension do not personally affect neither me nor my family, but I am personally affected by this decision because I love the city of Memphis and the people who live here. However, ever since I was a little girl, I have been acutely aware that Memphis was always the punchline to a joke about inept leadership, corrupt leadership, and leadership that could not manage its money. It's this type of leadership that has always made me a little embarrassed of my city. It's a type of leadership that causes people, native Memphians, to say the 3 words that break my heart the most. I hate Memphis. They say it even though they don't hate the city. They just hate the direction that the leadership continues to steer the city towards. They say it when they discover that tens of millions of dollars of taxpayers' money has been used to fund projects that nobody asked for, nobody wanted, and it still does not fix the underlying problems that our citizens face every day. They say it whenever the council announces a plan for a brighter, better Memphis, and like so many plans before it, 8 years later and $10 million over the budget at the taxpayers' expense, it is still not what was promised, and the council simultaneously announces cuts to public services in the upcoming fiscal year. It is no longer acceptable to continue to fund such projects at the expense of our schools, our firefighters, our police officers, our public works and other city employees, and the retirees who built the city on their backs. It is no longer acceptable to continue to present plans that punish the spouses of these employees by forcing them to withdraw resources from their already dwindling household income to afford basic insurance, while the council continues to stand behind a plan that not only kicked the spouses off, but now chooses to charge the employees 24% more on a policy that covers fewer people. It is no longer acceptable to continue to make deep cuts to the budgets of our first responders, causing stagnation within their ranks, while people who love the city, people who fight for the city, people who are willing to lay their lives down on the line for the city are forced to do additional work for no additional compensation. I want to be very clear with you all. We are not here to bully you. We are not picking on you. We are responsible for you. We elected the 7 of you who voted against us with the distinct understanding that you all would be making the best decisions for the citizens of this city, and you have not done so. But if we sit at home and we shrug our shoulders and we say, oh, that's just Memphis, that's just the way the leadership here operates, it's none of my concern, then we are just as complicit in your wrongdoing as the 7 of you are in making the wrong decision. You asked the citizens for their help to manage this crisis. So here we are, here to help you manage this crisis. This past Tuesday, I had the opportunity to sit in on the Healthcare Oversight Committee meeting. A plan was presented by the Memphis Firefighters Association and endorsed by both the Memphis Police Association as well as the Association of City Retired Employees. This plan is a compromise. It is not what the city promised its employees. But it still covers retirees, it still covers the spouses of the city employees, and it already has an estimated savings of $22 million to the city of Memphis. I urge you to accept the plan set before you, especially the 5 out of the 7 of you who sit on the Personnel Committee and have both the authority and the responsibility to approve this plan before it comes to a full council vote. I urge you to consider the far-reaching consequences on all the citizens of the city if you do not accept such a plan, Because despite your very best efforts to convince the public otherwise, this doesn't just concern a small group of people. It doesn't just affect the 1,742 employed in fire services. It doesn't just affect the 2,932 employed in police services. It doesn't just affect the 1,328 employees in all other divisions. In truth, by continuing to endorse a plan that rips the benefits that these people have earned away from them, by causing our retirees to become anxious about how they'll be able to afford their medical expenses and still be able to care for themselves, that concerns us. By forcing well-trained personnel to flee the city of Memphis and search for employment elsewhere, that concerns us. By causing spouses of city employees who've laid down their lives and to become anxious about how they'll care for themselves and their children, that concerns us. And by continuing to endorse a plan that punishes the act of 6,000 city employees and their families, it does in fact concern all 653,453 and counting citizens of the city of Memphis, Tennessee. So I urge you to accept the plan that's set before you, make the right decisions, and for once, to choose us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Knox.